My 6-year-old niece is missing. Like, gone. She's vanished. We just woke up to get her off to school, and she's gone.
You just woke up that she's 6? And it was at some point overnight, maybe?
I guess her 2-year-old sister is still here, and they sleep in the same room. But she's gone.
We're sending officers over to your location right now. Do you have any suspicion of who might have taken her?
I have no idea, and I don't think her mom does either.
Is there any way she might have snuck out?
No, all of her mom's doors were locked that I know of, and when she got up this morning, her side door to her laundry room was open. It's not like Jersey. She's never done anything like this.
When police arrived on the scene, they likely realized they were dealing with a very unique situation. While the Bridgman and Holly families were not related, they were incredibly close. In fact, Desiree's little girl spent more time at the Holly residence than their own, especially when she had to work night shifts. In order to get a better understanding of what happened, police began speaking with witnesses. The first person they spoke with is Desiree's neighbor, friend, and babysitter, Amanda Holly. The following footage has never been seen before and includes never-before-heard audio from those involved in the case. Amanda Holly told police about the panicked phone call she received from Desiree once she realized she couldn't find her eldest daughter.
She called me at 6:38 and asked me if Jersey was at my home, and I said no, and she said she was missing.
Y'all looked in that house? Didn't see her?
We looked in, my husband searched my house, and then we searched Desiree's house, and we couldn't find her, and that's when Desiree tried to call you guys, but they couldn't understand her, so I called.
With the events from the morning of the emergency call pieced together, police spoke with Desiree to establish a probable timeline for Jersey's sudden disappearance.
Jersey last night, Zachary literally picked Jersey up. She looked at me, gave me a smile. Zachary carried her over to the house. I followed with her.
Which door did you go in?
The front door.
Okay.
Zachary, usually known as Zach, was Amanda's husband. Although they'd only been married for 8 months, they'd been together for over a year and helped in caring for the Bridgman girls. Zach often helped Desiree bring her girls home after she returned from a night shift.
We put in Jersey in the same bed, and Jersey was on the side by the dresser, and there's a window right here, and then Jersey had her head over here by the other bed.
So sometime in the middle of the night, what time do you finally go to sleep? After 1:30?
A little bit after 1.
Then after that,
crawled into bed with me. I remember looking at the clock. It was like 5:10, and I was like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Come on, let's go back to sleep." And she laid down and went back to sleep with me.
Apparently, it wasn't unheard of for Desiree's youngest daughter to seek out her mother during the night, so this didn't worry Desiree or give her any idea of the horrors to come.
Finally got out of bed at 6:38.
all right,
To go get Jersey.
you went to go get her up. Whenever you come up to her door, what did you see?
Her door was open.
The door was open? Okay.
It was open.
All right.
And I figured that was from but her covers were a little messed up on the bed. It was jumbled up to where it looked like she could have still been there.
But Jersey wasn't there. The only evidence that she ever had been was a unicorn pillow she'd received for her birthday just days before. Chillingly, Desiree recalled Jersey had gone to sleep with the toy, but by morning, it was found discarded on the living room floor.
Did you check the house?
Oh, yeah. After I noticed she wasn't in bed, I went straight to the kitchen because I figured that's where she was. And she wasn't there, so I went to the bathroom because the bathroom door was closed. She wasn't in there, and so I went, checked underneath the bed, and checked in the closet because there's a bunch of covers jumbled up. Thought maybe she was hiding food in there, was eating it. I don't know.
Okay.
Desiree also revealed to the police that she left the front door to the house open the previous night so that her boyfriend Brandon could come in after he finished working an overnight shift. But as it turns out, it wasn't the front door she should have been worried about.
The side door, was it unlocked?
It was unlocked, open, unchained. The whole 9 yards, it was all the way open. Amanda came over to help me look for her, and she goes, "Honey, why did you go out the back door?" And I said, "No."
What's the chances of her walking out?
She never walks out the door.
She would never do that?
She's never tried. She knows better than to walk out the door without me.
Okay. What do you think happened?
I don't know.
What's in your heart right now that's telling you that's something ain't right?
I really feel like somebody came in there and took her.
Notably, there were no signs of forced entry. The back door, though open, was undamaged, suggesting that whoever opened it had a key. Only 2 people had a key, Desiree and Amanda Holly. However, any number of people in either household could have gotten a hold of the key. Disturbingly, everyone in the suspect pool was close to Jersey, meaning that she'd likely been taken by someone she trusted. In fact, Jersey might not have even realized she was in danger. However, according to Jersey's little sister, that didn't seem to have been the case. Amanda Holly relayed what the little girl had told her, and it was enough to make anyone's blood run cold.
You went over across the street and then you asked her the same thing. What did you see?
I asked her if she seen anything, if she seen Sissy out of bed, and she said yes. And I asked her if she was with anybody, and she said a girl. And then I asked her what Sissy was doing, and she said Sissy was kicking and screaming. I don't see a 2-year-old making this up.
Unfortunately, Jersey's sister was not able to tell police anything more. Not only that, but her story became inconsistent. Sometimes she said her sister was fighting a girl, but at other times said it was a boy. Sadly, this wasn't the first time police had been called for something involving Jersey Bridgman. Desiree detailed a horrible incident from the previous year involving Jersey's biological father.
Did you live with him at the time?
No, he was supposed to get her in school last year because I didn't have a vehicle. And work was rough on me at the time, and so he'd taken technically custody of her for a little bit, and I was getting her every weekend. I was seeing her twice a week. He had her over Thanksgiving, and she'd gotten into the fridge and got some pies out of the fridge and ate them, and so he started chained her to a dresser.
At the time of Jersey's disappearance, David was serving his 18-year prison sentence and Jana a 15-year sentence for what they had done to Jersey, eliminating them as suspects in the new case. However, while David and Jana were ruled out, further conversation with Desiree provided police with other potential suspects. The following statements reflect Desiree's opinions, and the truth of the matter has not been verified.
Out of all these people we just mentioned, if you had to pick one.
If I had to pick one, it would either be Charlie or Kyle.
Desiree identified a man named Charlie as a potential suspect. Police discovered that Desiree and Charlie had dated for a few months until he moved away, only to suspiciously reappear in Bentonville the day before Jersey went missing. Although he had no history of child abduction, police brought him in for questioning to ask about an argument between him and Desiree via text 3 weeks earlier.
No, I will be honest. I will totally be honest. I'm just trying to, remember. I think it was the fact that I was going to fight somebody to take somebody back or something like that.
Something to the fact that, tell me if I'm wrong, she's going to pay, or you're going to make sure she feels pain one way or the other, or something like that.
I don't remember that. Not at all.
So what was the text about in your words?
In my words, that I was going to fight for her. I was going to fight her boyfriend or something and take her back or something like that. I mean, that's what I remember.
Adding to the police's suspicions about Charlie was the fact that he had actually seen Jersey and her sister the day before the kidnapping. But according to Charlie, this was nothing but coincidence. He stated he'd gone to Amanda Holly's house to pick up his 2 nephews, who she was also babysitting, and claimed to have no idea that the Bridgman girls would be there. Still, police had to ask the obvious question.
So I went and picked up the boys, and when I was leaving in Jersey, they stepped out of the back room, said, hi, Charlie. And that was about it, they didn't, then they went back in the room, and I left.
Did you give him a hug? Did you touch him?
No, not at all, no.
Okay.
No.
Did you hurt Jersey?
No. No, sir. Never would in a million years.
You know who did?
No, sir. Because if I knew who did, I would be out there hunting for him.
Charlie agreed to let police go through his phone and track the location history. They determined that it had been nowhere near the Bridgman residence on the night in question. He willingly provided a DNA sample and agreed to take a polygraph test if the police desired. As for why he was back in town, Charlie said that he planned to spend Thanksgiving with his family. Since most of the evidence proved his innocence, police decided Charlie was free to go. In addition to thoroughly checking the Holly and Bridgman residences, police searched an abandoned house positioned next door to the Holly residence. The police discovered that the back door to the abandoned house was open, much like Desiree's house, but this was apparently normal. According to the Hollys and Bridgmans, the house had been left open for months. Just 20 minutes after Desiree reported her missing, police made a heartbreaking discovery at the abandoned house. Tragically, Jersey's body was found inside. a mere 200 feet from the safety of her bed. With this horrific and tragic discovery in mind, police spoke with Desiree's current boyfriend, Brandon. Though Brandon had worked an overnight shift on the night of the incident, with security footage to prove it, he had a potentially helpful tidbit of information that, while not incriminating, struck the detectives as unusual. Apparently, Amanda's husband Zach had been at Easy Mart at an unusual hour the night Jersey went missing and was killed.
You saw him there at Easy Mart at 2 o'clock?
Yeah, he's getting Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, he wasn't feeling good?
He wasn't, no.
He was sick? Did he tell you why he was sick? Is that unusual?
What?
Him coming up there at 2 o'clock?
Oh, no, that's not unusual, no.
Okay.
Shit, I give him free sodas.
We went to bed probably, I think last time I looked at my clock was 1. And he woke me up at around 3:30, I guess, and said that he was going to the store to get some Pepto because him and I and my son have all been puking and we've had diarrhea for 3 days.
Okay.
So I don't remember him waking me up. He says he woke me up when he got home. I don't remember. I had taken Tylenol PM last night. I was so sick.
Police turned to Zach himself to shed further light on what he'd been doing out at such an hour on the night something terrible had happened to little Jersey.
My stomach really started hurting because I guess my wife gave me whatever she had. So I remember looking at the time, it was 3:35 because I have to start keeping track of my times because I just cheated on my wife not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants me to keep track of my times.
Mm-hmm.
So it was about 3:35. I woke her up, told her my stomach was hurting. I was going to Easy Mart to get some Pepto-Bismol. She said that was fine. And Brandon, he was working at the time, so he can vouch, and you can even see the camera.
Zach's account from the night of the incident aligned closely with what Brandon had told the police. However, investigators continued to press for more details.
And there was no lights on at Desiree's when I left, so they were all still
Did you buy some Pepto while you
Yes,
were
I
there?
did. I even still have some at the house.
Do you know what time you got back home?
Yes, it was 3:38.
So it only took you 3 minutes to walk over there?
Yeah, because I talked to Brandon for a little bit. He asked me what I was still doing up, and I was like, dude, just woke up with stomachache.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out how you can walk over there in 3 minutes.
Because I just cut through the fence, and it's just straight shot there.
You got through there's a cut through right
Yeah,
there?
there's a cut through right there.
The security footage from Easy Mart backed up Zach's story, but this only showed the time he spent in the store. The time before and after when he allegedly walked to and from the store was unaccounted for. No matter how close he was with the Bridgman family, police had to consider that Zach could have been involved. He wouldn't have had far to go if he was. The house he shared with Amanda and her son was situated directly between the abandoned house and the Bridgman residence.
You know, I don't want you to think or be defensive and think that we automatically assume he did it. Okay?
No.
Because it's just some things we need to account for.
I understand.
Okay? More than anything, it's just the timing, you know, that's a little peculiar, you know.
I understand.
And it doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out, you know.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, that's why I brought you back in here, because I wanted to confirm with you if, in fact, you remembered him leaving last night and what time he got back.
I don't remember what time he got back. I honestly don't.
Just as police struggled to pin an exact timeline on Zach's activities from the night, Desiree named another one of her ex-boyfriends, Kyle, as a potential suspect, steering the case in another direction.
Tell me about Kyle.
Kyle, whenever I first broke up with him, it was November of last year after all this had happened with my daughter. He snuck her nose to a dumpster and I told him to get out. He wasn't allowed and I ended it there. And he stood there hanging on my door for 20 minutes, refusing to go anywhere. He was a very strange individual. One night, I was moving all my stuff around in the living room. I just moved in. I hadn't gotten curtains up yet, and he called my phone and says, "You need to get curtains. I can see you right now." I said, "Excuse me?" So I stopped.
Police would follow up with Kyle, but were not able to track him down immediately. As the team tried to find Kyle, police offered the chance for some of those involved in the investigation to take a polygraph test. Amanda Holly was the first to complete the exam.
I just want to get my name cleared.
Before the test began, police asked some clarifying questions about the night leading up to Jersey's death, especially about when she was brought home.
So after you guys left, or your husband, did your husband come back?
Yeah,
I guess?
immediately.
Immediately, okay. Just like usual.
Yeah.
Okay.
His usual routine is he'll carry Jers home, put her in her bed,
give her a kiss on the head, tell her he loves her, and then he'll see her in the morning.
All right. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you think I should know? No.
I mean, you asked the key question if I had anything to do with it.
Yeah. Do you know for sure who did though? No. Okay.
I have no clue, and I wish I could. I wish I could tell him who did it. I don't know.
Sure.
I
All
just
right.
want justice for Jersey and closure for Des and I.
Definitely.
I considered that little girl just as much as mine as she was Des.
I understand.
Amanda's husband, Zach, was also interviewed briefly on the morning Jersey was found missing, then again more extensively in the afternoon. Right away, police probably noticed some odd behavior from Zach, but whether or not this was due to guilt or emotional distress over the murdered little girl remained to be seen.
I asked you about your relationship with everybody, and describe more your relationship with kids.
I love kids. I have 2 nieces. I have a nephew.
Well, I'm talking about specifically Jersey.
Jersey. Jersey's my little... She's a sweetheart. She likes to fight, so I like to wrestle with her. The Jersey, on the other hand, she don't want to wrestle or anything. She just wants to either color or draw or, just be right up your butt all times,
It's my understanding you guys actually take a pretty big role in their lives.
Yes, we do. We have them 7 days a week.
Most of the day too, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're almost like a parent figure.
Yes.
In a sense. There's several questions, but one question I'm asking you, have you ever been accused of any type of child or anything like that in the past?
No.
No.
And we can be honest here. I mean, if somebody's ever
And I'm not talking, did you? I'm
their
not.
name out.
Yeah, I'm not saying did you anybody in the past. I'm asking, have you ever been accused,
No.
or somebody else has accused you?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Okay.
A deep dive into the records from Siloam Springs, Arkansas, revealed that in 1998, Zach was charged with residential burglary and criminal mischief after destroying a neighbor's living room with paint twice. Over the course of his teenage years, he was also charged with harassment on multiple occasions. Just a year later, he and another boy were accused of having inappropriate and undesired contact with a girl several years younger than him. After his teen years, though, it didn't appear that Zach was part of any criminal investigation until Jersey's death.
How were your emotions at that point?
Dude, I was freaking out, but I didn't want to look like it in front of Danny.
Zach is referring to Amanda Holly's son, who is not his biological child.
Because we didn't know what was going on. So we just wanted to get him off to school. That way he had nothing to worry about. Just a normal day,
Okay. So you were freaking out, but you weren't showing that emotion?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, I started crying.
Yeah.
I've been crying over her all day. I told her I would see her in the morning. And I haven't got to see her.
As Zach wrestled with his emotions, he remained unaware that the police had finally contacted Kyle. Kyle, who wasn't only Desiree's ex-boyfriend and a suspect in the case, but also Zach's friend, alleged that Zach had made some deeply concerning comments in the past. The nature of the police's subsequent questions hints at the content of those remarks.
I mean, obviously you find women attractive, right? I mean, you like women. You like younger women?
No.
You don't like younger women. The woman that you had the affair with was how old? 20?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay. You're 28. So is she a younger woman?
Yeah, but at the time, I thought she was around my age. So
You thought she was 28-ish?
around my age, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like them young. I mean,
20? 18? 19?
that's young.
You don't find women that age attractive?
No.
There's certain things that a person might say that I'm gonna believe. There's certain things a person's gonna say that I'm not gonna believe. And I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm not trying to go anywhere with this, but you saying that you wouldn't be attracted to a 20-year-old woman?
Oh, well, see, you're misunderstanding.
Okay.
Yeah, they might look good, but I won't try nothing with them because I like them to be around my age or older.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's just wrong. Because
They're
I'm
adults.
almost 30 years old.
I'm well over 30 years old, and I'd find a 20-year-old woman attractive. That's why I'm kind of calling bluff on that, man. I'm sorry, but
The guys are guys, that's for sure.
yeah, I just want you to be honest with us here, and I don't want to. I want to be able to look at you and say, listen, Zach, he's being straight with me. You know, I don't want to think you're trying to curve this at all, you know, or to be, you know, a little deceitful on certain things like that. And that's why, I mean, I asked a legit question that I can answer and say, I'd be attracted to a 20-year-old woman.
Yeah. We just want no.
Okay. And I'm quite a bit older than you. So, you know, I can say that.
But I do prefer them about my age or older.
Okay.
I will look, but,
Okay.
you know.
Sure. So you would be attracted to a 20-year-old woman. Okay. Fair enough.
But I wouldn't try anything else at that age.
Right.
After deliberating over the subject, investigators finally confront Zach head-on with evidence that completely catches him off guard.
The reason I asked that question is some people that we interviewed had made the comment that you are attracted to younger women. Okay. Mm-hmm. In referencing an incident actually just 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, where you had made a comment. I guess you made other comments about attractive women, which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Okay. This specific incident that I'm referring to, though, was related to a girl that was maybe in her early to mid-teens. You remember that? You were at a residence over on D Street. And it was your brother and your sister and Kyle were there, and you, and a girl walked by the residence, and you made a comment about thinking she was attractive.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
It could have been that night I was drunk. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about like preteen, early teen, high school age, because I mean, a lot of high school girls are you know, may look like they're 24.
Yeah, let's be honest. I mean,
Seriously.
Even in junior high, they look like they're 30-year-old women.
It's kind of hard to tell. That's why you just look, but you know, you don't do nothing. You just look.
By minimizing the implications of such behavior, the police are likely hoping to make Zach more comfortable acknowledging it and possibly even confessing.
Have you ever had any attractions to younger girls than that? Like prepubescent girls or, you know, early or preteen girls?
No.
Never.
No.
Not that you know.
I might look, you know, a guy's gonna, well, look at that.
Yeah, do you understand what I mean by preteen or prepubescent?
No.
Okay, I'm talking about girls that are probably around the age of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
That's like talking about my niece.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that age.
No.
Girls that haven't, you know, gone through puberty yet or are just starting puberty.
No, that's wrong. No.
According to Kyle, however, this wasn't Zach's usual opinion. Some of the comments Kyle alleged Zach made included extremely vulgar details about his sick desires. Even if Jersey hadn't been killed, these comments would still be massively concerning, as Zach had regular contact with children, including Jersey and her sister, sometimes caring for them on his own.
There are the evil people with no remorse. Then there's the people that aren't evil people, but that
Needs help.
have a sickness. You know, it's a mental thing. It's not an evil thing. It's a mental thing, or it's an experimental thing. We also deal with that too, where it's, you know, that's a mistake more than anything. You know, early on in investigations like this is when we want to find out whether or not a crime was committed. Not only is the crime committed, but how that crime was committed. You know, what the person's state was when that crime was committed. You know, whether that person is a person that's evil, that needs to go to prison for the rest of their lives. You know, or it's a person that's sick and needs help, you know, from a doctor. You know, or it's a person that was, you know, experimenting.
In their pursuit to uncover any clue of Zach's involvement, investigators probed his thoughts about the incident. What they didn't know yet was that someone else was about to coax the truth out of one of the suspects.
Why do you think that the person that took her did not take her too? In your opinion?
I don't know. Hard to grab two girls at once, I guess. I don't know.
This might be one of the rare, honest answers Zach has provided so far, and it's entirely possible that Jersey's sister was left at home because it was simply too difficult to kidnap two children at once.
What do you think their motivation or intent was? And why do you think somebody would do that?
I don't know. I'm not sick and twisted in the head like that. I can't even imagine doing something like that.
The police aren't getting anything more from Zach, so either he's innocent, despite his sick comments, or he's very stubborn. Fortunately, they already have a protocol for handling this and give Zach the same opportunity as his wife.
I gotta ask a tough question, man. Is there any possibility that you did this?
If you just take a lie detector, an actual lie detector,
I passed it.
you pass it.
It's my little girl, man.
I think we can get one arranged for you, okay?
Would you be willing to do that?
We won't do that.
Despite the nature of Zach's comments, the fact that he agreed to the polygraph would usually be taken as a good sign, but things wouldn't remain that simple.
So you're most likely looking at me then, huh?
No, I didn't say that. I said I'm talking to you and I want to do one of two things today. I want to clear you. I don't know you. Okay? I wasn't at your house last night. So any people that are connected closely with this child and this family, we have to look at. It's our jobs. That's my job as a detective. Okay? So no, I haven't accused you of anything. I haven't said you've done it. None of the sorts. I mean, you're here voluntarily, and we appreciate that.
When can I go home and see my kid? I haven't seen him all day since this morning.
You're here voluntarily. You're here you're free to leave at any time. I told you that when we started.
I didn't do this.
Well, this is where we got this thing set up. And just like Chris said, you're here voluntarily. But if you were doing everything you can to clear your name, we would like to get you over there to do that test.
Or give you the opportunity to talk to us about it.
Either one. I really don't think you need to do that.
I want to go home and see my kid. Wrap my head around things.
Okay.
I need to finish this tomorrow, please.
Ending the interview early doesn't necessarily indicate guilt, but it likely makes police more curious about Zach. If he was feeling pressured or stressed enough to leave, they're going to want to know why. For now, they decide to wait to see how he does on the polygraph. Before they even get Zach scheduled, however, they receive the results of Amanda's exam.
Okay, here's the deal. He just reviewed the results, and you passed the test. Okay?
This only brought investigators slightly closer to understanding what happened to Jersey. However, ruling out one person meant they were able to look more intensely at the remaining suspects. And at least partially due to his early departure from the interview, their attention was still locked on Zach.
Hey, we've been talking to Zach. He's no longer here voluntarily. He decided to leave. He went to his brother's house.
What are you guys done with him?
He chose to leave on his own accord, which he had the right to do. He was not being detained. He was not under arrest, okay?
Okay, but were you done with him?
No. Here's the situation, and I understand this is going to be hard, okay? We are certain that he is involved. We are certain that he's the one that...
There's no way in hell.
Okay. I understand that. I understand your denial. I understand this is your husband. Obviously, this all happened today, so we haven't gotten any forensic evidence back yet. We're basing this on some of the information that we learned during our interview while speaking with him.
Like what?
I can't get into the particulars on that. Okay?
Due to the fact that her child is at my home with all of my children and my husband, can I call them and tell them to go somewhere else since he's not in custody at this point?
Okay, stop.
He's over at his brother's right now.
That's where you think he's at right now?
First of all, he has no clue where you are. Second of all, this is bullcrap. My husband didn't do this.
He hasn't been arrested or charged yet with anything.
It still makes me very uncomfortable.
He did not do this.
As Amanda is showing great faith in her husband, investigators decide to use this in order to get her to help them persuade Zach to speak with them further. This effort will eventually reveal a shocking truth.
Let me just ask, how would you react if I sat here and directly accused you of doing something like that to a person?
I would go absolutely nuts.
Is that what you do to me? You go absolutely nuts, right?
I would.
And you know what? That's an innocent response. That's not the response we got. And that's why we strongly tried to contact him today to get him up here. All right, because we need to do something there. We need to eliminate him, and I understand he doesn't want to at this point, and that's his decision.
That he doesn't want to. He's scared because everybody's emotions are so high. He's afraid to take it because, as you guys have got to know, when you walk in a police station, your heart starts going like this.
Oh, yeah.
I will not let this little girl go without closure. That's my baby. I have raised her. I cook dinner for her every night. I bathe her. I put her to bed. We say prayers. That's my baby. I want to do whatever it takes. So if that means I have to drag my husband in here by his hair, I will.
With the understanding that her husband is going to be a prime suspect until he takes the polygraph, Amanda called Zach from the station to see what the holdup was. Though Zach doesn't know it, she puts the call on speaker, and it was recorded. Having been proven innocent herself, she likely expected the same result from her husband and was looking forward to resolving the issue so that police could focus on finding the real culprit behind Jersey's death.
What's going on?
They're trying to blame me, baby.
That's why they said that they suspect you, so why would they suspect you?
I don't know. I was in bed with you all night, except for when I went to go get Pepto.
I know, and I understand that. But why'd you leave? That makes you look guilty.
My stomach was hurting, baby. I mean, it's Pepto.
No, why did you leave the police station?
Because they were trying to get me to say something that I didn't do. I was sick of them being all up in my face telling me, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's good if you do this. Come on, just say it. So I was like, no. I want to go home and talk to my wife and my son. And I'm going to get a hold of a lawyer tomorrow. So I'm not going down for something I didn't do.
I know you didn't do it, honey. I know you would never hurt her.
I need you to come over.
As soon as I leave, I will.
I don't know what to do, baby.
Despite his reluctance, Amanda convinces Zach to schedule a polygraph. When he arrived, the test administrator went over the information about the exam.
You ever just sat there and thought about hurting someone? Good. That's good. Another thing the book says, this person might have lost their temper. You know, because what happens when people, when they lose their temper, they don't realize what they're doing, and they'll act out and just do about anything. Have you ever been so mad that you lost your temper on something? That's cool.
The test also included some more specific questions about Jersey and her disappearance. Throughout the test, Zach denied any involvement in her disappearance and subsequent brutal death. Unlike with Amanda, it took a few days for the results of Zach's test to be finalized. However, the polygraph examiner would have likely understood the results of Zach's exam in just a few minutes, so perhaps the delay in revealing the results was intended to make Zach sweat.
I know this has been tough on you, this whole thing. I mean, this has been obviously huge, you know, I mean, and, you know, I mean, you know, your loss and all the, you know, issues you've probably endured with, you know, people talking and not knowing what's going on and you know, I mean, the media and I mean that's a big pressure right in itself. I mean, not being able to go home, be able to walk outside your door and not being able to get a camera stuck in your face and, you know, and
watching every car drive by.
People's probably, I'm sure they've been stopping in front of your house, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
You feel like an elephant sitting on your chest right now?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
It's a lot of pressure.
Are you doing all right with it?
I'm working on it. I have good moments and I have my bad moments. But sorry to change the subject.
Yeah.
You said
Well,
you
you're
want to talk
anxious,
to me
aren't you?
about stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I did. In fact, there's a couple things we wanted to go over. You know, here I'll let JC cover part of it, and I'll cover the other part.
Yeah.
Two things. We got your results from your polygraph here. Okay. We also did get results from the crime lab. Okay. The polygraph results indicated deception, meaning that you failed the test. Okay. On the deceptive response questions. Okay. Do you remember what those questions were?
Not all of them.
Okay. You did fail that. That basically speaks for itself.
Confronted with his failure of the polygraph, police likely hoped that Zach would confess and finally provide some answers about Jersey. But this polygraph failure wasn't the only incriminating evidence Zach would have to face, as the investigation had also turned up DNA evidence. The details of where it was found were beyond heinous.
Hey, man. It's all right. Come on, man.
Zach, the results are what they are. Okay.
We don't think you're a bad guy, man. We just, everybody, there's a reason for this that you got to tell us about, and that's why we're here, want to talk to you.
Faced with undeniable evidence of his crimes, Zach eventually started crumbling under the weight of the pressure.
I don't think this was a planned event. Okay, I don't think that you planned this. I think this was something that just came about.
Zach, listen, hey, let's get past that, okay? We know what happened, okay? We're past that now, brother. It's clear as day.
Zach, we know that you're sorry. We know that this was not, something that was planned out. This just happened, okay? And man, I know that you want what was best for that child, for Jersey.
Remember last time we were talking about there's different kinds of people in this world. An unremorseful person would not have his head down right now crying. You feel bad in your heart, and you know that elephant that was sitting on your chest is wanting to get off. Okay? And we got to talk about that stuff. And I know it's hard. This is going to be the hardest thing you ever got to talk about in your life. I promise you. But once it's out in the blue and it's over, it's over.
We got to talk about it for the sake of Jersey.
Look at her, bro. Look at her, okay?
We need to do this for her. We need to put her to rest peacefully, okay? We know that she's forgiven you. Look at all the things you've done for her.
Zach, like I said, we're past that. Look at me.
Zach,
we're past that, okay? I mean that.
Do we need to be looking for other victims, or is this just one time?
It is still, Zach.
Zach, we know you did. We've got this solved. I mean, there's no other information out there on, leading up to this. That's why I think that this was the first time this just happened. Something came over you, something you couldn't control. It was, I mean, I'm not blaming you, Zach. I'm not blaming you.
And this just might be something that you need some help with in your mind. There's something in your mind you need help with. Maybe it's just something as simple as that.
I can't survive. My whole life is gone.
Zach, that's not true. Your whole life isn't gone.
Yes, it is. With this, you're going to get my wife to divorce me.
No.
You're going to take my kid.
No. Here's the thing. Amanda's been there for you. Amanda's been there with you and she's not gonna back away.
End up throwing me in prison for this.
Zach,
I can't survive.
Zach, that's not what we're trying to do here. Didn't you love Jersey? Okay. I know you do. Look, you're wearing her shirt. But Zach, the first step to this is you've got to let it go. You've got to let it go, man.
The information police have gathered, the failed polygraph, the vulgar comments Zach made, and the recently revealed presence of his DNA leave little room for speculation as to the nature of his crime. But police still don't know what exactly happened to little Jersey, and they're about to be confronted with a horrifying truth.
What do you guys want to know?
Tell us what happened.
No, really remember.
I mean, you probably blacked in and out, but what parts do you remember?
Standing over her.
Okay, where was she at?
On the floor.
Okay, where at on the floor?
In the far right bedroom.
Though Zach didn't state where he took Jersey that night, given the initial evidence police found, it likely wasn't hard for them to guess that he was talking about the abandoned house right next door. Still, the details kept coming, each more depraved than the last.
Okay. Where at in the bedroom?
In the closet.
Okay. And what was she doing on the floor?
But I don't know how we got there.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Just tell us the parts you remember, man.
Okay.
I ran home. Woke up, Mandy told her, "Won't lay down first." And then Danny came in there. I moved it back to his bed. Then I woke Mandy up saying I had a bellyache.
For now, the police played along, likely hoping this would get them the information they were looking for.
Okay, so it was before you went to Easy Mart? Okay.
Do you remember
what happened next?
I went and got my Pepto and came home. So I went back to bed.
Well, You said something about a closet. You remember her being facing up or facing down?
What was she doing in the closet?
She had her hands wrapped around her neck.
After you took Jersey home, you laid her down in bed, and then you went home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened after that?
The hard part's over, Zach. Just try to remember.
Would you call my mom if I were coming, please?
We don't want us all over. You're doing a good thing.
You are. You're doing the right thing.
I don't know why I didn't.
Okay.
I miss her so much.
I know you do, Zach. What happened after you went outside?
I went to Desiree back door and opened it.
So you walked in and
I looked around.
what'd you see?
Desiree had her door open. She was sleeping. The kids' door was cracked. And I pushed open the kids' door. And they were sleeping in bed. And I just walked up and woke Jersey up. She looked at me and I just picked her up and I was like, come on.
Did you just say it's Uncle Zach, or
I didn't say that to her.
she looked at you and acknowledged it was you?
Yeah.
Okay, so did
she yell or make
Yeah,
any
did you
noise or anything? Is she kicking or anything?
No.
Okay. Was she awake?
About halfway.
Halfway? Was she crying?
No.
Did she cry at any time? Did she ever yell anything or?
Zach's chilling admission of Jersey's cold-blooded murder leaves everyone stunned into silence. But investigators still had more grisly details to uncover.
Yeah, I'm losing my whole life right here. All because of what I did, and I didn't even mean to do it.
I know you didn't.
I don't know why I did it. I should just stay home. I had a beautiful wife right next to me.
Zach, we know. But Zach, it's important that we find out what happened, okay?
It's really important. The hard part's over, man.
Was Jersey walking or were you carrying
I
Jersey?
was carrying her.
Okay.
And I remember her asking me for something to drink. I told her to hold on.
Okay.
I don't remember doing anything. I just remember closing this closet door and leaving.
Okay.
Do you remember if her clothes were on? Well, you remember her pants were off earlier, right? And you remember those going around her neck?
I took her into the back room. I remember laying her down on the floor.
What happened after you laid her down on the floor?
Zach admits that he assaulted Jersey.
She already has, man.
Put her things around her neck and I tied it in a knot.
Do you remember why you did that?
And then after I did it, I put her in the closet, shut the door, and I left.
Did Jersey say anything to you?
Not the whole time.
When Zach didn't budge on that part of his story, police returned to a different line of questioning, something that directly led them to Jersey's brutal fate.
How many times did you put it around her neck, approximately?
How did you do it?
Under her head.
Okay.
Tying it in a knot.
Do you remember if you put it around one time or more than one time?
Because I don't know.
So you said you put it around her head, you tied it in a knot, then what'd you do the rest of them? The legs.
I just tightened it. That's all I did.
Do you remember how many knots you put in it?
No.
Okay. What was she doing after you put that around her neck and tied a knot?
She started kicking.
Were you still sitting on top of her when she was kicking? Or?
How long did it take?
Couple minutes.
Did you wait until she stopped kicking before you got off of her?
And then what'd you do after that?
I put her in the closet.
Was she moving at all when you put her in the closet? Was she alive at all when you put her in the closet? Or do you know?
I know she wasn't moving.
She was passed. Did you put her in there head first, or did you drag her in there, or did you carry her in there?
Dragged her in.
By her arms, feet, hair? What did you drag her by? Okay.
Her pant legs. And her head.
Okay, by the...
No. And her pant legs.
Okay.
So the pant legs that were around her neck?
You dragged her by that.
She dragged her.
And her head. And her head.
Do you have your hand on her head too?
Head like this.
Like holding onto her hair or her head?
Her hair.
Her hair?
What position did you place her in the closet?
And the closet was right here.
Mm-hmm.
Draw a picture.
Yeah, here. I got a piece of paper right here.
Jersey's cause of death was determined to be strangulation, caused by the pants Zach wrapped around her neck. There was also scratch marks along Jersey's throat, suggesting she'd fought to loosen the garment during her last moments. After killing and assaulting Jersey, Zach continued to Easy Mart for his Pepto-Bismol and went back to bed beside his wife Amanda like nothing had ever happened. In what can only be called a cold-blooded confession, Zach had finally revealed the sickening details of his crime, and yet one question lingered on.
There's no other children that you've had that experience with? Okay. I have to ask. But have you ever touched Danny?
No.
Okay.
That's my boy.
Okay.
I'm under arrest, ain't I?
Yes, you're going to be under arrest.
I'm gonna go to prison. Look at me.
Zach, I'm going to tell you again that you're doing the right thing here. The one thing you haven't said, you said you don't know why you did this. You don't have any idea why. Do you remember thinking about it beforehand? So that was the first time that you ever thought about doing that? Why do you think that is?
His interrogation ended soon after this, and shortly after Zach's confession, Amanda announced that she planned to file for divorce and filed for a no-contact order. However, while Amanda chose to distance herself from Zach, not everyone took such action. In a recorded jail call with his mother, Zach revealed some of his thoughts after his arrest.
I can't blame Jersey because I knew her. I can't blame Desiree because, Mandy introduced us to Desiree and we started watching the kids. I can't blame all that on her. The only thing I can do is blame myself for getting out of bed and going over there. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. This surgery really hit me hard.
In addition to Zach's mother, his older brother Kenny and sister-in-law Erin remained close to him and allowed both of their teenage children to visit with Zach, even bringing along their new baby on occasion.
Say hi, Zach. Look at Zach say he loves you. Say I love you.
In 2015, Zach pled not guilty to charges of residential burglary, kidnapping, capital murder, and an additional charge for violating Jersey. He received 2 life sentences plus 20 years and was given the death